good afternoon, everybody. How y'all doing? Pretty good here, and welcome to the channel. From the title, you saw, obviously, buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse. Buyer's remorse for the Type R. The Honda Civic Type R. Do I have any? Should I have bought this damn car? What do you think? Well, I'm going to talk about that a little bit. And it's kind of a toss-up, to be honest with you. It's kind of a toss-up only because I had the Civic Sport hatch before, which was also a manual transmission. I bought it because I wanted a manual transmission, right? So anyway, to the Type R. I've had the Type R now for, I don't know, a couple months, month, whatever it's been. About 1,200 miles worth, something like that. I'm in it right now, by the way, out cruising around. And buyer's remorse. And this for me is, as compared to the, like I said, the Sport hatch. I really liked the Sport hatch. I was very happy with it. Thought that I might wait before I ever bought it to take a look at the Type R, but I didn't. I went ahead and got the Sport hatch because I thought I would never get a Type R. You know, it's a track car, and you know, I'm not going to take it to the track, or probably not going to take it to the track, or maybe I'll take it to the track. I don't know. But anyway, the Sport had everything I wanted. It's turbocharged. It was quick. It was fun to drive. Great transmission. Hatchback like I wanted. Small. Simplistic radio. You know, all that kind of stuff. So, sold that. Bought the Type R. Now, the Type R is a different animal. It looks similar, of course, but that's really about where it stops. You know, the Type R has these more bolstered cloth kind of racing seats, I guess. You can put a harness in them if you want, whatever. And they're much better. They are much more comfortable. The seats in the Sport hatch suck. I don't care what anybody says, they suck. They're uncomfortable. You sit in them for more than an hour and your ass hurts. I mean, they're just not comfortable, you know? I don't care what anybody says, you know? Unless you got a lot of padding down there, they're not comfortable. So that's a definite thumbs up for the Type R. No buyer's remorse. The radio. That's kind of a toss-up. You know, the radio in the Sport hatch was very simplistic. Had a volume knob. We want the volume knob, Honda, and every other manufacturer out there. Put a volume knob in the car. We gotta have it. So I miss that. I miss the volume knob. Is it a petty thing? Yeah, it's a petty thing. Functionality-wise, well, the Type R's radio is a heck of a lot more functional. It's got all kinds of junk and stuff and satellite. And why can't you get a satellite radio in the Sport? Come on, man. But anyway, I'd have to give a thumbs up, a slight edge to the Type R. No buyer's remorse there. I miss my volume knob, I must admit. Dumb reason, but I do. The transmission. Let's talk about the transmission. You know, a lot of people have complained about the transmission. There is a problem with the transmission in the Type R. There's no doubt in my mind. I don't have it. Excuse me, but people do. I know they do. I've seen it. I've heard it. I've talked to people about it. It's there. Honda needs to fix that. Buyer's remorse? Absolutely. The transmission in the Sport was spot on perfect. Worked like it's supposed to. No problems. Come on, Honda. Get it fixed. Get it fixed. The power. Let's talk about the power. Now, this might be a no-brainer, right? I mean, the Sport hatch was 100 and I think 80, 85, whatever horsepower, turbocharged. Not bad. It was quick. It was fun. But when you get in the Type R, it is obvious from the start that it's got 306 horses. I mean, it's obvious to me. A couple weeks ago, I did a video. I kind of compared the Type R to my mother's Sport Touring, and I could tell as soon as I backed hers out of the garage, just backing it out of the garage, the difference in power. It is very noticeable. So Buyer's remorse? Absolutely not. Thumbs up. Love the power in the Type R. It is fantastic. Fuel consumption. Now, some of you are going to say, well, who cares? You know, if you're buying the Type R, the kind of car that it is, you don't care about fuel consumption. Well, if you're going to daily drive the car, you care about fuel consumption. I mean, if I can be getting 38 miles a gallon, I'd rather be getting 38 miles a gallon, which is what I was getting in the Sport. In the Type R, I'm looking right now, I'm averaging 29.9. So only about 9 miles a gallon less. So it's not horrible. But again, if you can get more, why wouldn't you want more? So buyer's remorse there, if I'm looking strictly from an economical standpoint, which I really don't care. Yeah, there'd be buyer's remorse there because you had something that got much better mileage and you don't anymore. Appearance. The appearance of the Type R versus the Sport Touring or Sport Manual, either way, they look pretty much almost identical. That's kind of a toss-up. For me, it's kind of even. You know, I like the Type R with its gigantic wing on the back. I didn't at first, kind of had to grow on me a little bit, but I like it. I do like it now. It's an edgy car. It's more cutting edge than the manual was, although the manual, the Sport Manual, I should say, is a pretty darn cutting edge design for Honda. I mean, it's a pretty sharp car. I liked both. I'd probably give the edge, if I was looking at the whole package, to the interior of the Type R. It is much flashier. I like that. So I guess buyer's remorse, I give a slight edge to the Type R, so no. I love the interior of the Type R. Again, the more comfortable seats and the appearance, much better. The last thing I guess that I'll mention, and this is going to be a pretty stupid thing, I think, probably most of you will think, are the tires. The tires that come on the Type R are so low profile, are so thin, what do you want to call them? So low? By that, I'm talking about the distance between the road and the rim and the tire that takes up that distance. It's very, very, very shallow, narrow, thin, whatever you want to call it, short. As a result, anytime, and I've heard this is happening to people, you go over some kind of a pothole and there's nothing there to take up that shock, nothing to absorb it because it's so thin, short. And they've blown tires, they've dented rims, they've bent rims, or wheels, as a lot of you call it. So I think there probably should be an option, maybe, when you get this car, as to whether you get those low-profile racing tires, rubber compound, summer compound, whatever. It does come with summer tires, of course. And there ought to be an option, I think, as to what you get on it. I mean, it is a specialized car, right? So you should have a choice. You know, if you're not going to take this car to the track, if you're going to daily drive it, why not have the option to get an all-season tire? Or maybe even some sort of a hybrid leaning towards a summer compound tire that has a little bit bigger or taller wall to try to avoid some of the damage problems that at least I've been hearing about. I don't know about you guys, but I've been hearing some horror stories about people hitting potholes or even curbs and ruining their rims or their wheels, of course damaging the tire in some cases, with those low profile tires. So those are just a few things. Buyer's remorse. Overall, do I have any buyer's remorse? Depends on what area you're talking about, I guess. Really the biggest one, the biggest two would be the tires, which I already took care of myself, so that's kind of a dead issue. And the transmission. You know, I had a transmission that was spot on, and now apparently I don't. At least it would appear. Anyway, overall, I'd say no. If I had the option of buying this again or not, would I? Absolutely. It is a fantastic car. It is a blast to drive. I suppose for me, if you were able to take the Sport, bump up the horsepower to, you know, 300, 400, whatever, probably wouldn't have gotten the Sport. But no buyer's remorse for me. Let me know what you guys think. Particularly, again, you guys that actually own the Type R. Do you have any buyer's remorse? Anything in the back of your mind saying you shouldn't have bought it? Please click subscribe if you haven't before. Leave a comment below. Let me know what you guys think. And we'll see you next time on the web. I have a car that just stopped in front of me. Have a good day. Bye.